Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close, I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
Okay, all right. So obviously we're doing this podcast because of all the commentary news coming out about what happened with Andrew Tate. A lot of people are texting me, asking me question, Pat, what's going on? DMs, messages. I said, let me just go live. I'm going to be very brief. I won't be long. I'll give you a couple things. I spoke to his camp today, got a couple updates, and then from there we'll take it, we'll see what's going to happen next couple days. The reality of it is, if you believe in coincidences, today is March 31st, 1999, 24 years ago today. You know, a movie came out 24 years ago today. Kyle, can you show it to him? Yep. 24 years ago today, Matrix came out. How wild is that, right? To be thinking about 24 years ago today, the movie Matrix came out the day these guys are being released. Now, obviously, you know, what kind of credence there is to this. It's purely a coincidence, but it's very, very ironic that this movie came out 24 years ago today. A couple things. I want to show you the clip of them being released. News came out a couple hours ago of these guys being released. And if you see this clip, if you can go to Twitter, go to the Twitter video that's circulating amongst what happened. And what I want you to look at is purely, if you can pause that, go to the back. There's no audio because the way these guys did it, there was no audio. I just want you to look at Tristan's eyes, and then I want you to look at Andrew Tate's eyes. So if you want to press play, let's take a look at this. There's the attorney. There is Tristan. Now watch this. See the eyes. Look at Andrew's eyes. Pause a little bit. Go back a little bit so we can see both of the eyes. So if you play poker, or if you study body language, you're in the business of body language, you're in the business of studying your kids, your spouse, your peers, people you do business with, to see where they're at, what they're thinking. I don't know. I sense peace. I sense rage. I sense strategy. I sense next 15 moves. And I sense an element of unpredictability. But most importantly, you can tell these guys have gotten closer the last 3.5 months, ever since they've been in there since, what was the date? December 29th, which is 3 months since they've been in. And, the biggest factor right now with them being out, they're going to be on house arrest. I'll read you statements from his lawyer. Here's what his lawyer said earlier. The measure has been replaced by the measure of house arrest, okay? The court listened carefully to the lawyer's pleadings and read carefully after the grounds that no longer existed at this time. No one will flee the country from amongst the brothers. They have repeatedly expressed their intention to work with the judiciary and maintain it. They presented, as I said earlier, all the guarantees. They have children in Romania. They have a house in Romania. They have a lawsuit against them. There's no reason to flee the country. The Tate brothers do not want to lead a life as a fugitive in the country. They're just tired of wanting to rest. And these are some of the remarks being made by the attorney right there to the right. So that's kind of where they're at right now. What happens next, nobody knows. There's a lot of different speculation going on here about what's really going on. Obviously, this whole thing took place after Tate put out a tweet calling out Greta, talking about, please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. And then she responded back with, the small D energy. And then they went back and forth. That thing got 570,000 retweets. And then boom, next thing you know, December 29, a couple days after that, if not 24 hours after that, he gets arrested. He and his brother get arrested amongst as well as the other two girls that get arrested with them. And they could have done this in April, because if it's allegedly and nothing's been charged, you could have done this since April. So a lot of people are sitting there wondering a few different things. In the States, where I'm at right now, in America, in the States, just yesterday, the president got indicted, right? So the president in the U.S. got indicted. And one of the biggest things everybody's talking about here is how the justice system is using their power to, it's a weaponized justice system. They're trying to eliminate a candidate, which Trump could be going against, Biden, and they don't want him to be running, and they can do whatever they can to prevent this guy. This is the first time ever in the history of United States where an ex-president has been indicted. So these are all things going on. We impeached him twice. He's indicted. The Russia, the this, the that. There's a lot of people that are saying, prove us what's going on. And Stormy Daniels' hush money from 7 years ago. Why are you doing it now? You could have done it earlier. Is this any other intentions you have to want to do this in Manhattan? A bunch of people are commenting on this right now. We will see what happens there. But this is normal in other countries. This is not normal in America, but it's happening in America. And a lot of people are thinking this is similar things that's going on with Tate. Obviously over there, where this takes us, nobody has any idea. They were trying to get these guys to go to jail. They tried their hardest. Their lawyer, we had her on, Tanya, she was here. We had a very nice conversation with her on how they're being treated, where they're at. Recently Tate put out a tweet talking about the kind of food they're giving him. This is him saying, my food comes at 8 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. I have a plastic bag I use to try and protect the food from insects. I spend my entire day destroying the flies and ants who get close to the meal in accordance with Ramadan. When the sun goes down, I eat the stone cold food in my cell by myself. Look, final thoughts before I wrap up, and we'll do a podcast again next week, but we got a lot of stuff going on between now and next week. So I wanted to kind of comment today before we go and do what I need to do here with the kids. This reminds me of a movie called The Count of Monte Cristo. The Count of Monte Cristo, where he goes away, and sometimes when you go away and you're forced to think, and you're by yourself, to reflect, to ponder, to talk to yourself. You don't have the distractions. They don't have access to their phones. They're not tweeting. They're talking to their camp, and their camp tweets it out. But these are not things that they've been tweeting. They've not had access to their phones since the day they went into jail. So this isn't like they're looking at the internet, they're watching YouTube videos, they're doing this. No, they don't have access to any of that stuff. Even Andrew talked about the possibility of wanting to write a book. When I went into, closest thing I could think about with my own personal life is when I went into military and I was in boot camp for a few months. Man, I had a lot of thinking to do. I got thinking about stuff, family, issues in my own life. What am I going to be doing next? What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. You tend to get closer to God. When I was in the military, during those few months, that is when I got closer to God. Because you're almost forced to reflect. You have no distractions. Think about all the distractions you got on a daily basis. Imagine if that was taken away from you for 3 months. What would that be worth to you? How many of you watching this could go 3 months taking all your distractions away 100%? I mean, you live in a hotel without a TV on, without phone, without anything for 3 months. Could you do it? And if you did do it, what would you do after a week? What would you do after 3 days? What would you do after 2 weeks? You're doing your walks, your brother's there, and you guys can be thinking, talking about life, talking about dad, talking about mom, talking about sister, talking about kids, talking about God, talking about what matters, talking about dreams, talking about things you did right, talking about things you didn't do right. All of these thoughts, if you do it right, you come out wiser. So I almost think this was... Andrew is obviously a man of faith, the way he presents himself. He's a man of faith. And I think Tristan is also a man of faith as well. This is a way where the man upstairs is saying, hey, listen, you've been doing what you've been doing. It's kind of time to get a little close to me. Let's spend some time together. So all those prayers, all those talks, the power of affirmations minus 100% silence pretty much for 90 days. Some call that catastrophic, but to the right person, that just may have been exactly what you needed. And now that all these things about allegedly doesn't come true and they can't charge him, they can't convict him, and these guys come out and they're freer and they're wiser, more experienced. They've experienced a lot of different things, but nothing like this. There's a certain upgrade, Kai, that is taking place with these guys now that nobody will be able to explain except for them. So What happened next? Nobody knows. They're on house arrest. Is this a new clip you got, Kai? This is
Andrew Tate's first words since release.
Go for it. Show it. Let's see what it is. Gotta love it. It's good to see him smiling.
A little bit emotional. I've been in one room since last year. I want to give respect, firstly, to the judges who heard us today, because they were very attentive and they listened to us. And they let us I have no resentment in my heart for the country of Romania or for anybody else. I believe in God, and I think that the fire of truth will eventually destroy all lies, and anybody who lies in a long enough time frame will feel the same for I truly believe that justice will be served in the end. There is 0% chance of me being found guilty of something I have not done. I maintain my absolute innocence, and I think most people understand this.
Thank you very much, man.
I look forward to being home. What are your plans for the next phase then? When I was in jail, I did 7,417 push-ups. I would like to get to 10,000 before the end of the week. Okay? I will focus on the push-ups and I will read the Quran.
MashaAllah, brother.
Thank you. Thank you to Antenna 3 and all my supporters.
By the way, you sense the humility? Do you sense the humility?
Yeah, he seems nice.
I'm telling you, but life does. There's certain things in life that you change. You know, when you get married, when you have a kid, when you get introduced to God, when you're forced to be by yourself, whether it's military, jail, death in the family, death of a close loved one, all of these things impact you in a different way.
Especially considering how fast his rise was, and imagine how chaotic his life became.
Yeah.
And then he got the moment of quietness.
Yeah.
Against his choice. So it'll be interesting to see how he's recreated himself and what emerges from that.
There's no question about it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more things that will come. But if the court had their way, they had plenty of chances to try to get as much as they can. By the way, this is if this goes in their favor, Vice is going to have a lot of explaining to do because they were a big part of this, and they really tried very hard to take these guys down. But again, we'll see what happened. These are some of the thoughts that I had that I want to share with you guys. Aside from this, there's nothing else that we have. We'll do podcasts again next week to talk to you guys. Kai, anything else you have on your end?
Nope. It'll be interesting to see where things go from here. We'll see.
That's right. So stay tuned. A lot of crazy things are going on, but we will keep you updated. We have a podcast, multiple, next week, as well as a live one next Thursday night at the studio with Rudy Giuliani and Dave Rubin live. If you haven't yet purchased the ticket and you'd like to join us and you're in South Florida, text the word podcast to 310-340-1132. Again, text the word podcast to 310-340-1132. We'll see you guys in South Florida next Thursday. If not, we'll see you on the podcast. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.